your children almost got the the opportunity, by the way, here in the Philippines because someone wanted to support them. Your children almost got the yung parang sponsorship for their studies and their visa, but Auntie Christine, I need you to know that I declined. All right. Good morning, you guys. Morning na morning. Malapit na kaming bumalik ng Pilipinas. So, we are taking things slow, and as you can see, nakapajama pa po ako talaga. Dahil, like I said, hindi nga kami nagmamadali. And I know you guys are looking forward na makasama si Kuya Kahil. We will get to that one very soon. But sa ngayon, I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys. I have been super busy the last few days kasi hinahabol ko yung mga transactions na kailangan kong gawin on the more serious and mukhang pera mode tayo for the past few days. And I'm sad na magtatapos na yung ating holiday / benta-benta dito sa Bangkok. But it's okay kasi nga sabi ko naman sa inyo, meron namang mga promo, right? So once again, time check natin. It is already, I believe, around 9 o'clock ng umaga. Si Sheena at saka si Tita Jackie bumaba sa swimming pool. I requested na I will not be able to join them kasi nga I wanted to edit some vlogs na pending, and I also wanted to talk to you guys. Ayan. I wanted to start our I wanted to continue our story kasi alam ko kulang pa yung story ko, hindi pa tayo tapos. And actually, it is a very crucial part. Okay? So, let us go into it without further ado. Ayun, diretso na tayo. Ayan. So, recently, may natanggap ako na huni ng ibon. Sabi ng huni ng ibon. Ma'am, parang hindi na talaga siya normal, ma'am. Sabing gano'n, no? Si Auntie Christine, they are talking about Auntie Christine. Ma'am, parang hindi na talaga siya normal, ma'am. Alam mo kung bakit? Babay siya ng babay sa isang, parang sasakyan na puti. Babay siya ng babay sa isang sasakyan na puti. Tapos sinasabi niya na, na ang nakasakay nga daw doon ay si Mr. Yiga at ang dalawang anak ko, yung kapatid ng mga anak ko, si Kuya Nasri at si Ali, ang nakasakay daw doon sa kotse. Kailangan niyang mag-pretend, guys, na nandun sila kasi kiniklaim niya nga na kiniklaim nga niya na sila ay may connection, ayan, ng aking ex-husband. Kung anong klaseng connection yan, bahala siya sa buhay niya, wala akong problema, okay, isipin niyo yung gusto niyang isipin. But natatawa talaga ako kasi it's not about hindi ko kailangan siraan si Auntie Christine. She is slowly showing herself. Kasi nga, katulad ng sinabi ko, lies can only take her up somewhere. And dahil alam niya na gawa-gawa lang or kathang-isip lang lahat ng mga sinabi niya sa inyo, simula nang lumapag siya sa Uganda, ang iba dyan makakalimutan niya na nasabi niya pala yun, ganito pala yung nasabi niya, magiging iba yung kwento. Kasi nga, alam natin na drawing book yung ginawa ni Auntie Christine. So, like I said, let's go back, Ang last natin na episode is yung huling linggo ko sa Uganda. Basically, guys, I was scheduled to stay in Uganda, by the way, ng 2 months. Hindi ako nakauwi ng Uganda for almost 2 years and I had some important things na kailangan ko pirmahan. May mga bangko, mayroon akong kailangang tapusin na mga transaction on my part. More personal kasi nga, anong nangyari sa marriage ko, and I had to really spend some time na hindi ko alam kung kailan siya, yung timeline niya na wala siyang security or seguridad kung ano yung timeline. So to make everything smooth, talagang nakaschedule ako ng 2 buwan. Pero ang nangyari, after 3 weeks, lumipad ako ulit pabalik ng Pilipinas, ura-urada. Okay? So basically guys, I was there on the last week. So yung last week ko, syempre alam ko na parang hindi ako magtatagal sa Uganda dahil nagkaroon ako ng emergency. First emergency is isinugod sa hospital ang aking, wait lang, wala namang tao. Sinugod sa hospital ang aking bunsong anak at nag-iisang babae na si Mayumi. Actually, pagkaalis ko guys no ng Pilipinas, medyo okay na si Mayumi noon. Inuubo siya pero pagaling na siya and napacheck up ko na siya sa doktor and meron siyang gamot and everything. I don't want to say anything no kasi during that time may konting may lumalabas na yung mga galit ni Auntie Christine, binubunton niya sa mga bata. So hindi ko masabi kung saan na part banda ang may missing no kasi meron pa siyang ongoing na gamot that time. But kailangang isugod si Mayumi sa hospital kasi nga yung kanyang ubo ay iba na yung ubo niya. So dinala si Mayumi sa hospital and during that time hindi ako makauwi agad-agad. So ang nangyari guys ay naka-assign yung nanay ko, yung mga kapatid ko, just how it is kapag isa sa amin ay wala. So normally kapag kaming magkakapatid, for example si Madam Ten Gives, meron siyang lakad, kami yung natitira to handle the, yung family affairs, mga bata. And then the same goes with me kasi hindi naman talaga as in totally lagi akong naalis. Okay? Ngayon, during that time, si Mama yung na-assign, mga kapatid ko, and Auntie Christine's job and her responsibility as a member of the homestead is sa bahay talaga siya. Magstay siya sa bahay at mag-prepare ng food para sa mga bata or kung kailangan ng food. Ngayon, Mayumi stayed in the hospital. Ang nangyari doon, nagkaroon kami ng parang rotation. So, si Ma'am Sheen, ang mga kapatid ko, lahat merong rotation. And kasali yung mga staff namin. Si Miss Giselle merong rotation. So, by the way, no, isa nga pala sa ginawang kasinungalingan ni Auntie Christine is siya lang daw mag-isa ang nag-asikaso sa mga anak ko. Siya lang daw mag-isa ang nagbantay kay Mayumi sa hospital. That is a huge lie. Auntie Christine is she's such napakasinungaling niya guys at to the point na parang sa sobrang kasinungalingan niya feeling ko nabubuang siya. Okay, never ko pong pinabantay si Auntie Christine ng more than pumunta lang si Auntie Christine saglit dahil nag-antay kami ng karelyebo. Pero yung siya talaga yung na-assign, hindi po nangyari yon kasi during that time, hindi na tiwala. Wala na akong tiwala sa kanya. Wala nang tiwala yung mga kapatid ko sa kanya. Kasi nga nakita nila. They've seen how she started, yung kanyang mga ugali, yung mga attitude niya. So basically, pinapunta siya ng hospital and then sabi ko sa kanya ay magdala siya ng baon para hindi na magastusan pagdating sa hospital. So pinaluto ko na siya ng pagkain and everything. And then pagkagabi, may re-relyebo na sa kanya. So nasa bahay that time, I believe may naka-assign din para sa mga bata. Ngayon guys, I know a lot of you will give me judgment. Ganito, dapat ganyan, dapat ganyan. Like I said, you can never judge a person, no, unless you are in their shoes. So I would like to request na calm yourself. Kalmahan niyo yung mga puso ninyo, ayan, kasi baka magalit kayo sobra, no, biglang may pumutok na nerves diyan. But I know my responsibilities as nanay. I know I'm not perfect. I know meron akong lapses as parent. Like I said, my life is never balanced. If I am a present mother to my children, I am lacking sa part na kailangan ko maghanap buhay. At kung naghahanap buhay man ako, I am lacking on the part na kailangan ko mag-alaga ng mga anak ko. And then, somehow, no, we keep on realizing, kasi nga, marami naman sa atin single parent. If you are a single mom, they will never see the fact na you are alone. They will always point at you na kasalanan mo. There will always be those kind of people. So what do? You try to protect your boundary. Yung utak mo kailangan mo iset. Kailangan mo i-protect yung boundary ng mental health mo. Try to really condition yourself na you won't get affected with what other people tell about you because you know yourself. Okay? Once again, I am a solo mom, solo parent. 100%. Ako lang po mag-isa. Ako lang mag-isa sa pera, budgeting, ako lang nagpo-provide, ako lang naghahanap buhay, ako lang nag-aalaga sa mga anak ko, ako lang lahat nag-iisip para sa kanila, 4 po yung mga anak ko. Okay? Wala po akong katulong or katuwang when it comes to finances. Alone. Zero support galing sa aking ex-husband. And I know I did my mistake, I had my regrets, but let's moving on. I am where I am and I have to face my responsibilities to them because they are my children and I love them and I am grateful and blessed na I have them. Kasi kung wala siguro sila sa buhay ko, I don't find any reason naman talaga na, I'm not gonna be who I am. So anyway, nagkaroon ng relyebo until Mayumi got better. But during that time, nung nasa ano na ako guys, maraming kadramahan si Auntie Christine during this time, no? Na keso hindi daw siya pinasakay ng kotse, ganito, ganyan. Guys, si Auntie Christine, sa almost 2 years niya sa Jensan, ilang beses na yan siya naglabas ng bahay ko para mag-malling. Ilang beses na siya naglabas ng bahay ko para magpagawa ng kuko niya. Ilang beses na siyang lumabas sa bahay ko para mamalengke. Ilang beses na siyang lumabas sa bahay ko para mag-ukay-ukay. Okay? That moment, yung huling linggo or huling few weeks niya sa amin sa Pilipinas is not something na kadarating niya lang ng Pilipinas and she doesn't know how to maneuver kapag walang kotse. Okay? So, ang nangyari, isa sa kasinungalingan niya ay keso pinabayaan daw siya. Unang-una sa lahat, kung pinabayaan ko si Auntie Christine, guys, sa almost 2 years sa Pilipinas ko na ginawa, hindi yung araw na yun. There were already pre-arranged na communication kay Auntie Christine. Grabe talaga, no? Grabe. Naisip ko, grabe talaga yung galit ni Auntie na pinauwi ko siya, na tinigil ko yung visa niya. Kasi imagine, umabot sa point na, naglabas siya ng mga, puros gawa-gawang kwento dahil lang sa galit niya sa akin. Auntie Christine, you just wait because, like I said, I'm still going to finish the story of how things unfolded, no, on your last few weeks here in the Philippines. So ngayon, claim ni Auntie Christine na naglakad daw siya, guys. Nilakad niya daw simula Soc-Sargen Hospital. Imagine, Soc-Sargen Hospital hanggang sa bahay namin. Pag nilakad niya siguro yun, guys, no, siguro baka umaga pa siya nakabalik. Okay? Tawang-tawa ako dun sa part na nilakad. Unang-una, syempre, kung hindi niyo nakita nagutuman siya sa almost 2 years, imposibleng magugutuman siya, no, during that time. So, isa din sa another, niya guys, no, sa kanyang kasinungalingan ay siya nga daw talaga yung nagbantay kay Mayumi at wala daw pakialam yung mga kapatid ko. Completely lie. As in talaga, ang kapal-kapal ng mukha ni Auntie Christine. Auntie Christine, Pika, saan na ba tayo? Okay. So, natawa ako, no? So, during this time, this is already like the last 10 days ko sa Uganda, nag-message na sa akin si Madam Tengive. Sabi niya sa akin, you must, ganun talaga, no? You must come home. Kailangan mong umuwi agad. Ganun na yung message ni Madam Tengive. And sa amin magkapamilya kasi, ewan ko ba kung mayroon kayong kakilalang tao na ganito, no? Pero sa pamilya namin, si Madam Tengive yung may pinakamalakas na intuition pagdating sa mga ganyan. Pagdating sa tao, pagdating sa lugar, pagdating sa sitwasyon. Kaya kapag nagsabi siya na may red alert galing sa kanya, hindi ko talaga question. Kung sa akin pa, siya yung pinakamalapit kay Lord pagdating sa ganyan. Yan yung lagi kong sinasabi sa mga kapatid ko, sinasabi ko sa mga malalapit naming kaibigan, why we listen to her, kay Madam Tengives, kahit na mas bunso siya sa akin. So si Madam Tengives is ang aming ika-4 na kapatid. So basically, she ang eldest, followed by Tets, yung teacher. Ako yung ikatlo, and then si Madam Tengives yung ika-4 na. But we listen to her a lot. Kasi ang dami niyang experience sa buhay. We don't listen based on age kasi kami magkakapatid. We have very few trusted people around us who are a lot younger than us. Ang iba nga 20 plus pa lang. But we listen to them. We value every words they say kasi they had their experience. Okay? It's about experience. It's about what they went through. It's not about their age. So marami kaming mga binavalue talaga na tao, no, na talagang important sa amin yung presence nila sa bahay, sa pamilya namin. Kasi, like I said, we get a lot of lesson sa kanila. So, pagkasabi ni Madam Tengives ng ganon, I prayed immediately. Sabi ko, Lord, my family wants me to go back home immediately. Please help me. Gumanon na ako, guys, kasi 2 na yung ticket ko. May return ticket na ako. Ang problema doon, yung money ko that time, very limited lang. Meron akong tinatago-tagong allowance for emergency, pero limited lang. So, what I did, you guys, talagang grabe. Actually, every morning, pagising ko, tsaka gabi, nagre-reflect ako. And during my reflection, I pray quietly. Hindi yung talagang makita mo na very religious, na very prayerful na tao, ha. But when I have my quiet moments, na talagang, kunyari, pagkagising ko, normally nangyayari yan before I go to bed, yung mga few minutes before I go to bed, and then few minutes after I wake up, I have my reflection. So, nag-reflect ako, sabi ko, Lord, my family wants me to go back home. I don't feel so good. Kasi hindi na, guys, pangit na talaga yung aking pakiramdam. Imagine, hindi ko na makontak si Auntie directly sa phone niya. Blinak niya na ako niyan, guys, sa WhatsApp. Hindi ko na siya makontak sa isang phone niya din. And all access ko sa kanya is via CCTV na lang, na kinakausap ko siya na auntie open your phone. Kasi tumatawag ako, auntie open your phone, may message ako. Kasi nga, nagtataka ako bakit sinabi niya na broken daw yung phone niya, pero maya't maya tumatawag siya sa kasama ko para mag-instruct yung mga gusto niyang ipadala sa Pilipinas. Pampaganda, pampaayos ng buhok niya, personal niya na mga body balm, kasi di ba hindi sila pwede sa lotion. Marami siyang mga pinadala guys na mga, ang bibigat pa naman niya. So sabi ko, paano siya nakakakontak? Nagtataka din yung kasama ko, bakit ako kinokontak palagi? Bakit hindi ikaw? Ganon. So hindi na guys, hindi na talaga okay during that time. And this is like parang mga 10 days, no, bago ako umalis. So ngayon, ang another contact ko, isabihan ko si Parts, pakisabihan si Auntie ganito, ganyan. Kasi nga, totally talaga, giblock talaga ako ni Auntie Christine. Pero during that time, hindi pa siya nag-release ng mga kasinungalingan, no? Talagang silent treatment yung ginawa niya sa akin. Pag nakikita ko siya sa camera, alam niyo yung galaw, guys, na parang, ganun pa din na galaw niya for almost like 6 years. Hindi ko naman pinapakialaman yun eh. Pero yung ganyan na naklase, yung kanyang mood, yung attitude niya, yung kanyang silent treatment, I have been through that a lot. Hinayaan ko siya kasi like I said, hindi natin alam yung mental health ng tao. If they want quiet time, if they want peace, we have to give it to them. Pero hindi ko talaga maintindihan na etong mga last ugali ni Auntie. There's something wrong. And during this time, hindi ko pa din talaga nakikita yung mga anak niya. Yung mga anak niya na nasa high school na talagang nag-reach out ako sa inyo to help para magkaroon lang man kahit laptop yung mga bata. Yun lang. Okay? Actually, to be honest with you, some people, by the way, message and contacted me. This one, I did not mention this to Auntie Christine because I don't want her to be hopeful. Okay? Kasi naisip ko dati, guys, nung bago-bago pa lang kami sa Pilipinas, kasi syempre, imagine, nakarating si Auntie na Philippines, the opportunity is so huge. So, akala ko that time, talagang Auntie will be, mas masipag, mas driven, mas motivated, pero hindi ganun ang nangyari. So, I never promised Auntie na talagang gagawa ako ng paraan na dadalhin yung mga anak niya kasi ang bigat sa part ko. It's a very big responsibility. And during that time, guys, na nagsabi ako about sa laptop, actually like 2 people to 3 people. Auntie Christine, actually 2 to 3 people, no, wanted to support or sponsor your children to come to the Philippines and join you. But I declined. Yes, that is the truth. I declined. I'm not very sure if these people, I'm sure 2 of those people will actually watch this video and they keep on watching me even before, no? They tried to approach me about that subject. Kasi on that later part, parang 6 months, or no, I think 4 or 5 months before si Auntie Christine umuwi, someone spoke to me na talagang very dear sa amin ng mga anak ko. She said, Princess, you are actually doing a lot and I know that you are alone in the expenses for your children. Why don't I lift up some of your responsibility? So this person nag-sponsor ng visa ni Auntie Christine on the last few months kasi hindi ko pa talaga naisip na palayasin si Auntie. Imagine that time na sumakit yung tiyan ko, the next month dapat pauwiin ko na siya. Pero katulad ng sinabi ko, lintik na puso ko, naawa na naman ulit. So I accepted the offer na sponsoran daw yung kanyang payment sa visa, which is around almost 4,000 pesos every 2 months. Iba pa yung 6,000 or 7,000 pesos, kasama na yung ID, in total of around 8,000 pesos na kailangan kong bayaran every year. So for almost 2 years, ang binabayaran ko na visa ni Auntie is every 2 months, almost 4,000 pesos. Every year, around 8,000 pesos kasi parang renewal. Then meron siyang alien ID. Iba pa yung PhilHealth ni Auntie Christine for foreigner na I paid 20,000 pesos for that. Cold cash, galing sa budget dapat ng mga anak ko. Kap ko toilet ko, may, putsi, may day. Day, to duway no. Telephone, okay yan ka? Okay, lalo? Okay. Ka, towel duway, may towel, may ka? Okay, kakap ko na ka. So, I was saying na merong gustong mag-sponsor. So this one, Auntie Christine did not know. I did not have to tell her kasi nga I already declined. I did not want Auntie Christine to be hopeful. So before I actually left for Uganda, someone approached me or messaged me personally na what if dalhin yung mga bata, babayaran nila yung visa or whatever is needed. And then doon mag-aaral. Ganun ka thoughtful ang mga Filipino, lalo na pag nakita nilang sincere ka or they really wanted to reach out, ganun. Alam nyo guys, nag-decline talaga ako guys. Sabi ko, please, I don't want to accept the responsibility. Gumanon talaga ako. Kasi sabi ko, that time, slowly nag-realize na ako ba na, Princess, you are doing too much for the person na gusto lagi ganito lang. Ganun kasi naging ugali ni Auntie Christine eh. Gusto niya lagi, naging ganito lang siya palagi. Hindi siya gagawa ng kahit na anong other than the words no na nakita ninyo na na-post ko sa last episode natin, kung saan she typed the exact words. Nakita niyo yon na grateful siya, thank you so much, mga ganon. Other than that, ano lang si Auntie eh, she just wants to receive. Yun lang. And try to notice that sa lahat sa inyo ngayon na siguro iba sa inyo nagbigay na or whatever, okay lang naman yun. Kasi alam ko yung intention ninyo, pure naman eh. You don't have that bad intention na bibigyan ko to kasi gusto ko siyang ganito, ganyan, mapasama. Hindi naman ganun yung thought ng tao. People give because they wanted to share their blessing. People give because they wanted to help. The thought and the intention of giving is really good. Regardless kung sino yung pinagbigyan mo, it doesn't matter, okay? So, napansin ko na si Auntie lagi na lang ganito. So, naisip ko, how is it going to be? Anong mangyayari kapag pinayagan ko yung dalawang anak niya na pumunta ng Pilipinas? So talagang napaisip ako, guys, no, is it going to be the same? Ako ba lahat mag-iisip? Kasi naisip ko, if they are coming, Auntie Christine should be able to take care of the responsibilities na. Dapat marunong na siyang mag-handle. Dapat maghanap siya ng paraan. Ganun yung dapat dun eh. Maghanap siya ng paraan para masustain niya yung mga anak niya. Kasi hindi ko na kaya, guys. Hindi ko na kaya. Siguro kapag sinaluko pa yun, baka mabaliw na ako, guys. Sa dami ng iniisip ko. Like I said, I am a solo parent sa mga anak ko. And I want to give my all sa mga anak ko. Hindi ko lang alam kasi itong lintik na puso ko, talagang laging gustong mag-isip para sa ibang tao. I want to stop that. To be honest, call me a bad person, judge me anything you want. Wala akong pakialam. Okay? I don't need you to like me. Let me clarify this. I don't need you guys to like me. I don't need any of your validation. I am sharing with you the story, katulad ng sinabi ko, so you get the lesson from my mistakes. It's not validating. It's not trying to ruin a person. It's not about because I'm angry or I'm hurt or whatnot. It is the lesson. I want you to focus on the lesson of my mistakes. Yung mga mali ko sa buhay ko, yun yung gusto kong i-share sa inyo. Okay? I don't need any of your validation. I don't need you to like me. I don't need you to praise me. People will say, napaka-strong, independent mouth. I don't want to be strong. I don't want to be independent. I want to be dependent. I want to rest. Pagod na ako, guys. Pagod na ako. And during that time, sinabihan ko talaga yung nag-sponsor, Tita, sorry, but I'm not going to accept that. I will not handle the responsibility. So, Auntie Christine, your children almost got the opportunity, by the way, here in the Philippines because someone wanted to support them. Your children almost got yung parang sponsorship for their studies and their visa. But Auntie Christine, I need you to know that I declined. I declined because you alone were a huge responsibility that I took. And taking two more and seeing that you are not actually ready to put in the effort made me decide not to accept the offer. Kasi I know kahit na sponsoran sila, it is my name on the line. It is my well-being on the line. Kasi ako yung mag-iisip para sa inyo mentally. I will be the one to handle you, Auntie Christine, and your children mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. I know that. Because for almost 6 years, I never saw Auntie Christine handle things nga siya lang. Hindi ko nakita na nag-effort siya na saluin niya yung sarili niyang problema. Kasi kahit nga pag may namatayan sa kanila o may nagkakasakit, lumalapit pa din si Auntie sa akin. And whatever money I have, I try to give. Kasi I grew up on a hard way, guys. I grew up very poor. I don't care kung may sobra kami ng mga anak ko, I'm going to share that. Pero like I said, it was getting out of hand. Kasi kahit yung budget, ang huling perang ginasto ko kay Auntie Christine, and that's also going to be the very, very last, is ang pamasahe niya pa uwi, which costed me almost 60,000 pesos, Philippine Airlines plus Ethiopian Airlines. And that was from my business. That's why kailangan kong isara yung Mayumi Thailand Closet kasi kailangan kong igastos para kay Auntie Christine dahil nga I really wanted her out of our life. I wanted Auntie Christine. I chose that. I chose that over whatever, guys, because I needed my peace back. I needed my mental peace back. I needed Auntie Christine to get out of our house. I needed Auntie Christine to get out of my children's life. I needed Auntie Christine to be home, safe and complete and, okay to her family, because that's something that I wanted to do as a closure of the responsibility that I took. Okay? Dinala ko siya sa Pilipinas, kailangan makauwi siya ng maayos. And that's the end of it. That's the end of it. So ngayon guys, now let's go back. I said no, and this person knows very well. I know you are listening, Tita. I believe it's Tita E who approached me na, what if ganito ganyan? And I said no thank you po. I don't want that responsibility anymore. So, Auntie Christine, your children lost that responsibility because I cannot handle anymore. You alone, you were heavy to be with. And like I said, I already put up a challenge 2 episodes ago, I think part 6, where I said, etong mga tao, you Filipinos, fellow Filipinos, no, na you are too proud. Etong mga Filipino na sobrang proud, na nagbubunga nga at putak ng putak, I wanted to challenge them kasi they were really on fire eh. I gave them the challenge to post or share with me ang ang photos to prove that the iPhone 13 brand new na gamit ni Auntie Christine is given by another person and not given by me. Like I said, that is half-half, and I claimed that already in previous vlog. Nag-vlog din si Auntie niyan. So what Auntie is claiming right now na binigay yan ng iba, I want you guys to prove that. And if you cannot prove it, but still you are talking, just shows how stupid you are. And I'm not going to stop myself from saying that. Kasi I ask you guys you guys can actually contact me directly, basta mag-video call tayo, pag-usapan natin, ganito. Kasi gusto kong makilala itong mga Filipinos, kapwa ko Pinoy na grabe talaga ang putak nila guys. Yung parang feeling ko talaga binigyan nila ako ng ulam. Yung parang kapitbahay kayo tapos may ambag sila sa buhay namin ng anak ko na binigyan kami ng ulam, bigas, the way sila makaputak. So I gave them a challenge, come video call me, I want to see you, I want to see your face. Ganon. Pero wala guys. Ni-ha-ni-ho, wala. So in the end, like I said, be careful of who you are with. Kasi itong mga Pilipino, kapwa Pilipino na to, or maybe isang tao lang yan, I hope you're not going to be with these people. Because these people, they are going to be the jablo in your life. Ayan. So what happened now is, tinanggihan ko yon, hindi ko yung tinanggap. And then, mas lumalapat talaga guys, no, nung nasa Uganda ako. Kasi nga, after that, nung sabi ko, pumunta ako sa Qatar Airways yung ticket ko. Pray ako ng pray, sabi ko, Lord, I only have this amount of money sa pitaka ko. Help me go home. Immediately, gumanon ako. Pag nagkasya tong amount ng pera sa nahawak-hawak ko, then you are there. Sabi kong ganon, you need me to go back home with my children. Guys, tumindig ang balahibo ko the whole time, every time naaalala ko yan, yung kwento na yan. Kasi when I arrived at the Qatar Airways office sa Kampala and I booked the flight, I tell you guys, up to the last centavo, ang last ko na sentimo, pinagsama ko yung pera sa pitaka ko at yung pera ko sa cellphone ko, sa phone number ko that time, tama lang nabayaran ko yung rebooking fee. Napakamahal ng rebooking fee, pero like I said, a sign is a sign. I really needed to go home. So I was able to book my flight immediately. I believe in just a week, I have to leave Uganda. So I was very happy, no? Though may mga bagay na hindi ko natapos, pero I did not really care kasi my family really wanted me, they gave me a red alert already, and I also prayed, and God gave me the sign, and God answered my prayer, and I'm like, okay, it's about time, I have to go. So ngayon guys, alam ko na 7 days na lang ako sa Uganda that time. Pero hindi ko pa rin nabibigay yung laptop. Hindi ko pa rin nabibigay yung laptop talaga. So on that day, I think pagbalik ko sa bahay ni Maring Sara, tinawagan ko si Auntie Christine the next day. Kasi nga, imagine ha, the first week ko sa Uganda, nag-block na siya ng cellphone niya. Hindi ko na siya makontak. Hindi siya nakikinig sa CCTV. Chinek ni Parts yung cellphone niya, walang problema. Lagi siya nagsi-cellphone sa bahay. During this time, kung tamad si Auntie, mas naging tamad pa talaga siya, guys. May ikakatamad pa pala yung tamad. Imagine. Pero I am grateful kasi Parts was there, my brother was there, andyan si Mama. So si Mama pumupunta paggabi, yung kapatid ko nasa umaga, during the daytime, umaalis yung kapatid ko kapag hapon kasi meron siyang review. Si Parts naman inaantay yung pagbalik ni Mama. So Parts was there talaga, and may kapatid, yung bunso ko, and then si Mama pagkagabi. Laging nandyan para sa mga anak ko. Otherwise, it's, I don't know what could have happened. So ngayon sabi ko, okay, tinawagan ko si Auntie Christine, and alam ni Maring Sara to. Maring Sara is actually aware, no, sa nangyari. Tinawagan ko si Auntie Christine, nilagay ko yung phone na naka-loudspeak para malaman ng yung ano sasabihin niya. Kasi nga naku-curious ako, bakit niya ako blinak? Okay, okay lang yung pag-block kasi gusto ko kausapin ko siya ng personalan tungkol doon. Pero yung fact na magti 3 weeks na, hindi ko pa nakikita yung dalawang bata, nung dalawang anak niya na high school na pagbibigyan ko ng laptop, something is wrong. So sabi ko, eto kapag hindi niya pa ako nasagot ngayong araw na to, talagang na-scam niya ako ng 2 taon, almost. Imagine yung na-scam ka 2 taon, buwan-buwan kang ini-scam. Sa 2 taon, guys, kung hindi ka pa scammer niyan, ewan ko na lang anong tawag sa'yo. Kasi kung nagsinungaling ka sa akin somehow after 6 months, 5 months, nakita mo kung gaano kahirap yung buhay ko. Minsan halos wala na akong pang-grocery para sa mga anak ko. But God is good. Alhamdulillah, He provided everything for us and my children. I remember the day na talagang nag-red alert yung pitaka ko, guys. Wala kaming pangkain ng mga anak ko. Wala akong pang-grocery. But someone came and gave us a blessing. And I cannot forget that, by the way. The way God moved in my life, it makes me cry every time. Kasi being a single mom is... being a single mother is extremely hard. And every time na naaalala ko how God moves sa buhay ko at sa mga anak ko, it makes me feel like yung parang hindi ako nag-iisa. May time na walang-wala kami, guys. It makes me cry. Walang-wala kami. Tita Audria, bigla lang siyang nag-send sa akin ng resibo. Walang-wala kami, guys. Hindi kami nag-uusap kami, pero hindi yung araw na yun. Pero I was praying. I apologize. Hindi ko talaga intended umiyak, pero yung blessing kasi ni Lord pa sa buhay ko, regardless sa mga maling decision ko, it's amazing. Parang 100 pesos lang yung pera. Tapos grocery time, wala talaga akong pambili ng grocery. Diba si Mayumi, maliit pa. Si Chico, si Calvi. Guys, nag-message. May na-receive akong message, no, kay Tita Audria. Kay Tita Oria pala, Oria. Kasi medyo mahirap yung pangalan ni Tita. Lagi kong nakakalimutan paano ibigkas. May na-receive akong message, guys. Resibo na agad ang pinadala sa akin on that day. And I believe parang nagpadala siya sa akin 5,000. Sabi niya sa akin, Princess, hindi ko makalimutan. Sabi niya, Princess, I sent a little something. Pambili ng... pambili ng gatas. Sabi niya, use this money to buy milk for the kids. God is good. God is good. Hindi ko masabi na lagi akong nakaka-provide. Hindi ko masabi na lagi ako nakaka-provide sa mga anak ko, but He never closed His eyes sa akin at sa mga anak ko. Imagine, nag-message ang gano'n ng out of the blue. Tapos nag-iisip ako, Lord, anong bibilin ko kasi wala akong pera. Hindi ko masabi sa mga kapatid ko kasi alam ko, meron din silang mga challenge gano'n. Alam nyo, guys, pagka-receive ko, sabi ko, Tita, you don't know how much I needed it today. Sabi kong gano'n. Kaya sa lahat na naman nagmamahal sa akin at saka sa mga anak ko, guys, I am very grateful. Kahit ito lang pag mapanonood nyo ng videos namin, yung mga konti-konti na mga bumibili sa items namin, konti-konti na bumibili sa items namin. Minsan hindi kinukuha yung sukli. Maraming salamat. May sukli sila 1,000, ganun. Hindi nila kinukuha. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat, you guys. Sabi niya, Princess, bili mo ng, ganun talaga yung words niya. Ibili ko daw ng gatas, ng pagkain, tinapay ng mga bata. And that day, yun talaga yung iniisip ko kasi hindi pa ako nakapagbenta. Kasi last resort ko palagi yung mga kapatid ko. Pero sa awa ng Diyos, no, nagkautang man ako sa kanila for 2 years. Almost 3 years namin sa Pilipinas ng mga anak ko. Nagkautang man ako sa mga kapatid ko. I am slowly paying them back. I am able to pay them back. Like I said, being a single mom is unimaginable. And I am proud, pero pagod ako. So, I am crying kasi I'm happy. I'm grateful. I'm grateful sa blessings ko sa buhay ko. I'm grateful na God moves in mysterious ways. Totoo yan. Totoo talaga. No joke, you guys. I will try to show you yung message sa akin no, ni Tita Oria on that day na talagang walang-wala kami ng mga anak ko at napadala siya ng pang grocery. So talagang sabi ko, Lord, I humble myself. I bow to you only. You are amazing. You're amazing. So, nakapag-grocery ako that day. And alam ko, naulit pa yung mga ganyan na moment. Pero, hindi ko alam, bago ko pa sabihin kay Lord, yung talagang taimtim na. I really humble myself na, Lord, I'm not going to be here without you. I cannot do all these things without you. I cannot survive alone without you. Hindi man ako religious, hindi man ako pumupunta ng simbahan, but I humble myself. I am nothing without God. Okay? He really took care of me and my kids. So, balik tayo, no? After nun, I called Auntie Christine, tinawagan ko siya, tapos naka-loudspeak. Ang tinawagan ko na number kay Parts. Tapos si Parts, binigay niya yung phone kay Auntie, tapos naka-loudspeak ako. Guys, I tell you what, since the first minute, hanggang sa huling minute na kausap ko si Auntie Christine, sigaw lang siya ng sigaw over the phone. Sumigaw lang siya ng sumigaw. Hindi ko alam anong sinisigaw niya. Parang, ang sinisigaw niya, ang nag-gets ko, hindi kasi communicating yung nangyari eh. I was trying to communicate with Auntie Christine, telling her that it's already my last week in Uganda and I need to turn over the laptop to the children. I need to see the kids, to give the laptop. And number 2, I need to confirm their situation dun sa bahay na binayaran ko ng almost 2 years. Apartment na supposed to be malapit sa school para hindi na sila sumakay, maglakad na lang sila. Again, almost 2 years. Guys, 2 lang hiningi ko kay Auntie Christine. I only needed 2. I don't care if it's only 1 hour, 30 minutes, pupuntahan ko yung mga bata kasi I believe they are 1 hour away from me yung location ng mga bata, if I am not wrong ha. Kasi like I said, all my information is just from Auntie Christine and no one else. So si Auntie Christine lang talaga ang nakakaalam. Auntie Christine only knows this arrangement kasi nga I don't have to say a lot about these things. Anak niya yun and I'm just there trying to help. So, tawag na ito, sabi ko sa kanya, kahit 30 minutes lang, I just need to give the laptop and confirm and close this thing with the donors na nagbigay to respect them for sharing and giving. And then number 2, I don't have to vlog. I don't have to show a video or whatnot. It's very customary that if you're giving something, right, to other people, at tapos merong nag-donate, kumuha ka lang ng picture and send them. Okay, ganun lang yun siya. Kahit nga mga artista, no, may mga, yan ang tinatawag natin na proof. And then also, number 2, I want to see the apartment na binayaran ko ng almost 2 years. I was paying 3,000 pesos every month para lang makapag-aral yung mga bata. Guys, from the first minute, nandyan si Parts at mga anak ko sa bahay. And I know Parts was also shocked kasi tinawagan ko si Parts agad. Sabi ko, Parts, kunin mo muna yung mga bata, ilabas mo sa bahay kasi I cannot imagine, I cannot believe na sumisigaw na si Auntie. Walang pag-uusap na nangyari. Kasi ang kinu-communicate ko, Auntie, just 2 things. Listen, I just need to give the laptop and I just want to see the apartment. Yun lang. Kasi malakas na yung kutob ko na wala talaga yung apartment. Kasi 3 weeks na, lagi na lang siyang paikot-ikot. She keeps on telling me the kids are busy in school, studying, exam, in the field trip. They come back home in the night. They go early in the morning. Ganun na yung mga reason niya. Imagine guys, sumisigaw siya over the phone and I only remember few things. I told you, I don't know where my children are. I did not see them for many years. I don't know their school. I don't know the location. Ganun lang yung sinasabi niya over the phone. I told you to meet my brother so my brother can help you. But you asked my brother to go back to our village. I told you my brother is going to do it for me. I don't know where they are. What do you want? Ganun na siya. Hindi na ako makapagsalita. Kasi inuulit-ulit niya na sa 2 taon pala nag-aaral yung mga anak niya, Auntie Christine actually did not know where her children is for almost 2 years. She's a Ugandan, imagine. Her children are already big. She doesn't know where they are for 2 years. She doesn't know the school. She doesn't know the location. And take note, Auntie Christine visited them. According to her, for the 6 years that we've been together, she visited the children quite a few times. But she doesn't know where they are. She was shouting at me on the phone. She doesn't know where the children are. She doesn't know where the school is. She doesn't know how to get the kids. She doesn't speak to the kids. Yun lahat ang sinisigaw niya sa akin over the phone. Kahit si Maring Sara, sobrang nabigla. She did not expect na ganun makipag-usap sa akin si Auntie Christine. For almost 6 years na magkasama kami, sa lahat na nangyari sa buhay niya, ganun ang nangyari. So ako guys, na-starstruck ako na, bakit ka nagasigaw? Kasi gusto ko lang mag-communicate sa'yo. Ang dali lang naman ng tanong ko, bakit ka sigaw ng sigaw? Alam nyo guys, sigaw siya ng sigaw from the first minute up to the last minute to the point na wala na siyang masabi. Kasi sabi ko, Auntie, calm down. I just need 2 things. Auntie, you are not talking. I cannot hear you when you're shouting. Calm down. Guys, alam niyo ang ginawa, binagsak niya ang cellphone ni Parts sa table. Yun na yung huli kong narinig. Tapos nagsalita na siya ng local language niya. Binagsak niya sa table and then kinuha ni Parts. Na-shock si Parts kasi bakit binagsak yung phone. Tinawagan ko si Parts. Sabi ko, Parts, labas muna kayo ng mga bata kasi hindi maganda para sa kanila. And that was my last communication with Auntie Christine na sumagot siya. Yun na yung huli. I was starstruck or I was shocked. Na-shock ako guys. Na-shock din si Maring Sara. Wala kaming comment. Hindi namin masabi anong dapat sabihin. Si Parts din nabigla. Kasi sabi ni Parts, sabi niya sa akin, ano nangyayari ba? Bakit ba ganito, ganyan? Sabi ko, Parts, 2 lang yung tinatanong ko, ganito. Sabi niya, ang dali naman ang tanong na yan. Bakit naman ayaw sagutin? Sabi ko, yun nga, bakit ayaw sagutin? Okay? So, that's the first confirmation, by the way, that Auntie Christine scammed me for almost 2 years. I have been sending money to pay for the children's apartment, Auntie Christine's children, 2 children, to pay for their school apartment located close to their school. Kasi nga, binubuli daw sila doon sa tinitirhan nila na kapamilya ng ex-husband ni Auntie Christine. So, pinalipat ko sa apartment. Bahala ako ang magbayad. I paid for almost 2 years. No photos, no videos, no thank you message from the kids, no video message from the kids showing the apartment, nothing, no of some sort, no proof. I trusted Auntie Christine to that point that I never asked for those things kasi she is a mother who wants her children to finish school and I am just another mother who wanted to help out because I know how it is being a single mom. Okay? So, sigaw siya ng sigaw and then I turned off the phone. Nag-usap na kami ni Parts. Sabi ko, Parts, ganito, ganyan. Please, wag mo iwan yung mga bata. Kasi on that day, mas lalo pang bumigat yung nararamdaman ko. Something is not going to be okay. I have to take control. Gumano na ako, guys. And then, I planned out everything. I said my goodbye sa mga tao na kailangan kong pagpaalaman na nag-impake na ako dahan-dahan and then it was such parang ang tagal ng moment no na pag-uwi ko sa Pilipinas and then my flight came, departure came, going back to the Philippines. Again, sa mga panahon na to guys, ay talagang wala na. Kung hindi ko iniwan yung mga kung tinitingnan nila yung mga anak ko very closely during that time, before yung araw na sinigawan ako ni Auntie Christine from the first to the end, mas lalo namang mas lalo namang pinabantayan ko na yung mga anak ko to the point na hindi ko na sila halos pinapa-stay sa bahay. Yes, that is a confirmation coming from me. And I can see on the CCTV, kasi wala namang alam si Auntie Christine sa CCTV, ako lang yung may control. I saw in the CCTV na si Auntie Christine after that is kaliwat kanan sa cellphone niya. Kaliwat kanan sa cellphone, 2 cellphone, isang Android, isang iPhone 13. Kaliwat kanan, which by the way she claimed na broken at hindi niya magamit yung 2 cellphone. So parang nakitaan ko na siya sa CCTV na nagpapanik na, panic mode na kasi nagkakaalaman na. Okay, wala na siya, galit na siya kasi na-corner ko na. Auntie Christine, you were so mad at me because I found out the truth that I was sending money for almost 2 years for your children's apartment, yet the apartment is non-existing. The apartment is not there. Auntie Christine, you scammed me for almost 2 years, claiming that your children are paying for an apartment that actually does not exist. So now, everything that you are claiming against me actually shows you who you are. And like I said, you can only scam people up to some point. I am, like I said, and I will never change my mind. Auntie Christine became a very big lesson sa buhay ko this year. She's a very big lesson. And I kind of feel bad, no? Kasi after that episode, merong nag-contact sa akin na kaibigan ko na foreigner in Uganda. And I'm going to share this story with you guys kung bakit related tong story ng friend ko na a foreigner and etong story ko with Auntie Christine. And now you will slowly understand why I slowly confirmed everything with Auntie Christine na kailangan ko talagang actionan as soon as possible. So, hindi pa rin tayo tapos, guys. We are now going to continue the story. Like I said, pasensya na po kayo and you have to see me breakdown. I guess I'll see you on the next one.